We're fast approaching the release of the Book of Boba Fett.
I am Boba Fett. Left for dead on the sands of Tatooine.
So, how will Disney and Lucasfilm handle the largest cliffhanger since The Empire Strikes Back? With Luke Skywalker's return and the separation of Grogu and Mando, this series needs to keep the momentum flowing, right?
Jabba ruled with fear.
This is just one of many planned Star Wars series on Disney+, along with The Mandalorian Season 3, two larger shows, Star Wars Ahsoka and Star Wars Andor, have been revealed. Boba Fett is considered as one of the most feared figures in the Star Wars universe. Even though he played a minor role, but narratively important, obviously, in the original Star Wars trilogy as a bounty hunter pursuing Han Solo, which was played by Harrison Ford for Darth Vader and Jabba the Hutt, the character's popularity has always been beyond a legendary level. For example, Boba Fett's famous armor, helmet, and cape have been memorialized in some of the best-selling Star Wars goods ever. Since then, Boba Fett's importance has only increased, so it's no longer a surprise that he will soon have his own Disney Plus series. Just a little heads up, there are potential spoilers ahead for Star Wars and The Mandalorian. So, we won't keep you waiting, and let's get started. Here's everything you need to know about the Book of Boba Fett, including release date, cast, the series' first trailer, and more. Boba Fett was given a terrible past in Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi, after being thought to be dead after slipping into the mouth of the voracious creature known as the Sarlacc. He later made an unexpected return in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. However, this time he wasn't the villain. The enigmatic Jedi Hunter is a constant source of intrigue for fans, because of his complicated nature as a character who commits awful things, yet isn't necessarily a bad guy. So with the announcement of a Boba Fett TV series, fans are eager and are already talking about the possibility of learning more about a dark character who isn't strictly on the dark side. Alright, so when will the series start? On Wednesday, December 29th, 2021, 3 a.m. Eastern Time. The Boba Fett TV series will finally air through Disney+. Rather than releasing all of a season's episode at once, that streaming service has traditionally released one episode per week. It may be tiring to keep on waiting for the next episode, but hey, at least we get to look forward to something every week, right? The Book of Boba Fett will pick up after the events of the Star Wars films and Season 2 of The Mandalorian, in which Boba Fett made an appearance. Boba Fett and Fennec Shand are slated to take over Tatooine in the spin-off, with Boba Fett assuming the throne in what was previously Jabba the Hutt's domain. In late 2020, The Mandalorian creator, Jon Favreau, revealed that Boba Fett's post-credits reveal in the Season 2 finale of The Mandalorian was kept a secret to surprise fans.
He's so chill, he brings his guitar, he hangs out, but in his head, it's nonstop.
This is actually independent from The Mandalorian Season 3, he added, explaining that while the Book of Boba Fett is a continuation of the Mandalorian plot, it is also a standalone arc and adventure. Now, let's talk about the cast. Details regarding the Book of Boba Fett casting, like other Disney Plus projects, are being kept close to the vest. Temuera Morrison, reprising his legendary role as Boba Fett.
Down under, New Zealand. Hello there. Hello, Australia. Green and gold.
And Ming-Na Wen, who plays Fennec Shand, are the only confirmed cast members.
No idea what their plans were, and that's why, for me, social media.
In July 2021, Morrison told Express, Jon Favreau has come up with some wonderful formulas. It's a new world. They prefer to keep Star Wars memorabilia behind lock and key. Morrison, who has previously played Jango Fett and other clones in Episode 2, would truly and obviously make sense as Boba, since he is a clone of Jango. In December 2020, Morrison spoke with the New York Times on what he enjoyed best about his new old job. When we find Boba, he's well-worn, and he's been through a lot. He's a survivor, and he's weathered. Now it was time to find out more about what makes Boba tick. Is he more than just a simple man trying to make his way through the galaxy? Is he tired of all the fighting? Is he tired of all the killing? He explained. Then Morrison added, "The one thing I can relate to is, I'm quite a mature man now, and things always change. Sometimes you're in Hollywood, in all the magazines and newspapers, and sometimes you end up in the fish and chip shop in New Zealand, where all the old magazines and papers go. Your old news. The Book of Boba Fett was so secretive that Wen didn't even realize she was shooting the series at first. She actually thought she was filming the 3rd season of The Mandalorian. For 2 weeks, I had no idea that I was actually shooting the spin-off. When the crew and the cast found out, they were dying. It was so crazy. So, yeah, it was wonderful to finally discover that I was shooting the Book of Boba Fett. They call it The Mandalorian 2.5, in a way. So, I wasn't all wrong, she told Digital Spy. No writers have yet been announced for the Book of Boba Fett. So far, the only credited writer is Star Wars creator George Lucas, because he created the Star Wars franchise. Will Grogu be in the Book of Boba Fett? We hope so. It remains to be seen if our beloved Baby Yoda will appear in the Book of Boba Fett. Grogu fled with a young Luke Skywalker at the end of The Mandalorian Season 2, while Boba Fett and Fennec opened up shop in Tatooine, so it doesn't seem likely. Morrison, on the other hand, isn't opposed to the concept. Baby Yoda's probably the biggest actor in Hollywood at the moment, but I never got to work with him very closely or with the people who moved him around. I was using him in a not-so-good way, as bait. But hopefully I'll get to meet him, and we can have a little bonding session, he said of his arc with Grogu in The Mandalorian. A production staff shirt from the Book of Boba Fett, with a small Baby Yoda on the breast side of the shirt, has given fans fresh hope for a Grogu appearance. In regards with Omega's appearance in the Book of Boba Fett, it hasn't been confirmed or denied, but it's a distinct possibility. The fan-favorite character from the Bad Batch is Boba Fett's sister, and the relationship is likely to be explored in greater detail in the Book of Boba Fett. How many episodes are we expecting from the Book of Boba Fett? The Book of Boba Fett is slated to have 8 episodes in its initial season. Obviously, if it receives a second season, there will be more, but that remains to be seen, especially since the series is classified as a miniseries, meaning that it may be one and done. So far, the directors announced for the Book of Boba Fett are Favreau, Robert Rodriguez, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Dave Filoni. The Mandalorian was created by Favreau in collaboration with Filoni, who is also a producer and writer on the upcoming Star Wars spin-off Ahsoka and The Bad Batch. Rodriguez and Howard, the daughter of legendary director Ron, helmed episodes of The Mandalorian in the past. My relationship to Star Wars feels unique, since I grew up with George Lucas. He had kids the same age as the kids in my family. We all really grew up together. My holiday gifts from George, ever since I was really young, were Star Wars figurines. And so even before I saw the movies, as a really young kid, I was playing with these characters, Bryce told BBC Radio. She joked that when she was directing The Mandalorian, she had to make sure that her kids didn't ruin any surprises while visiting the set, especially Baby Yoda. The thing I was most nervous about was that my kids had been on set quite a bit, so they had seen Baby Yoda and interacted with Baby Yoda. When we were filming, my kids were 6 and 11. They're now 7 and 12. When the kids went back to school, every single day I would say, "So, what are you not going to talk about today?" And they would say, "Baby," she admitted to The Hollywood Reporter. Have you seen the trailer? If not, let us give you a run-through on what was shown. Boba Fett is shown donning the body armor he wore as a bounty hunter in a new video released on November 1st. And in case you didn't notice, it was the same armor when he fought alongside Din Djarin in The Mandalorian. We see that Boba Fett has taken over Jabba the Hutt's ancient palace, which we learned at the end of The Mandalorian Season 2. Boba Fett appears to be attempting to take over Jabba's crime syndicate, but in a nicer, more respectful manner. So is Boba Fett good or bad? I bet almost all Star Wars fans have also wondered the same question. It's complex, to say the least. Boba Fett works for Big Bad Darth Vader and Crime Lord Jabba the Hutt in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, both of whom are obviously unethical and immoral. Boba Fett, on the other hand, had a difficult childhood. He was a clone of his own father, Jango Fett, and he saw Mace Windu, Samuel L. Jackson, behead his father. He's more of a mercenary, going where the money is, than a plain villain doing evil for the sake of doing bad. For most of the Star Wars canon, he was an adversary, But in Season 2 of The Mandalorian, he became a protagonist when he rescued Fennec Shan's life and assisted in the protection of Grogu. Another question that fans have been wondering is if The Mandalorian Season 3 is the Book of Boba Fett. The Mandalorian Season 3 and the Book of Boba Fett are two separate stories set in the same universe. Favreau explained on Good Morning America, the Book of Boba Fett is actually separate from The Mandalorian Season 3. But what we didn't say in that announcement is the next show coming up is going to be the Book of Boba Fett, and then we go into production right after that on The Mandalorian, back with the main character that we all know and love, pretty soon following that. There's a lot of Star Wars content coming out. I think they announced 10 projects. I think this will be 11. So far, the Book of Boba Fett will not replace The Mandalorian Season 3. Is Boba Fett a Mandalorian? Actually, he isn't. Though Boba Fett wears Mandalorian armor, and his father, Jango Fett, is a Mandalorian, it's because Jango is considered a foundling. Boba was given Mandalorian armor, which he wears proudly, but he is not a Mandalorian by birth or by any other criterion. In Season 2 of The Mandalorian, when told he isn't a Mandalorian, Boba responds, "Never said I was." Never said I was. What are your thoughts on the upcoming release of the series The Book of Boba Fett? Let us know by leaving a comment down below. Also, don't forget to leave us a like and comment. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.